Hey guys, this is going to be a preview video of the DIY for installing an electric sunblind into your BMW car. You have the shade, you hit a button, it goes up and down. Now, I've been wanting to do this for some time. Currently in the car, I installed this thing. It is a manual sunblind. And the physics of this is you roll it up and it hooks onto that and it provides shade to the back like that. The thing with these cars, you don't have a lot of clearance to reach back there constantly to bring this up and down. And sometimes you're driving, you want it down, and you have to park and pull over and do that manually. With the power sunblind, once you have the blind installed, you will next need the control button for the sunshade. And it comes connected to a panel of switches that goes on your center console. The sunshade button basically grounds the motor and allows the shade to go up and down in the back. From, the button is located in front of the shifter. Now, the problem with these button panels is they all come connected. So make sure you have to get one that coordinates with accessories that are already on your car. Like if your car has a parking sensor or a hill descent for all-wheel drive, as you see here, you want to get one with buttons with the sunshade, but also buttons for stuff that's already on your car. Here's the view of it from the back. It's just one connected unit. The buttons do not come off and on. So make sure your buttons that you need are already on there. In the case of my car, I needed that hill descent button that looks like a little duck because I have an X-Drive sedan. The sunshade button's in the middle there. On the pre-LCI, the heated seats are usually those end buttons. I do not need those because my heated seats are actually my HVAC. I'm glad I got the parking button as well as the sunblind that I'm going to use to power the shade. Once everything's installed and done, the only thing I have left to buy is a junction box that goes inside behind the fuse panel there. It goes underneath. And the junction box must be from a car that had a sunblind, and it has a relay in there that allows the sunblind accessory to be coded to the car, to the button to work. This diagram shows how the sunshade motor in the back of the car is connected to the junction box at the front of the car, and the relays in the junction box is then controlled by the center console button marked 1. You will also need this harness to connect your sunshade motor to the junction box. You can also make one yourself if you have the pins A2 and A3. These three control units are the main ingredients that make the magic of the Sunshade Retrofit happen. The junction box is the core of those ingredients, and the one I'm looking for is actually marked M. M, I was told, means master. You can't go by part numbers when looking for these things. The part numbers will not really tell you what's in them. They have letter markings on the outside that kind of hint as to what's in them. So this M box has the sunshade relay for an LCI E90 or E92 car. The blue square here shows where the white relay is located, the white box. Cars that don't have the sunshade will have an empty space in that blue square. Other older BMW E90s, E92s, if you're looking for these junction boxes, they might have different markings that coordinate with your specific car. This one is an H3 from an older E90 car, and this will have the sunshade relay in them. Some may not, some do. Here's a picture of what those relays look like on this older junction box. Those two squares, purple and red. Cars from that generation that did not have a sunshade will have blank spots in that purple and red location. The best way to really know if a junction box will work with your car is when you get all your components. Make sure you also try to get the junction box from the car that these things come out of. That way you will know the junction box will work. But a lot of junction boxes don't have the relay for the sunblind, so it's going to be tough. It's probably one of the hardest things to find on this project is the correct junction box. So let's get back on. I'm going to show you guys what I have wired to the shade. If you don't get the junction box or the console switch button, what you could do is get something called a reverse polarity switch here. These switches allow you to put up and down an accessory in a car. Sort of similar to a window switch. Basically, it's like a power window switch. So you go up and down. So I have this wired to the battery right now to test it. I just got this shade a few days ago. I got the switch on Amazon. The red and black goes to your accessory, and the sunblind, it doesn't matter what wire goes where, as far as I know. So the accessory gets power from the switch, and the switch gets power from the battery. But what it does, the reverse polarity allows you to use the battery in various ways to put up and down the accessory. The relay in the junction box is what controls that. And because I don't have that in my junction box, I'm gonna have to get a junction box that controls that to code that to the car. It's very complicated coding, but basically this switch, I'm gonna show you guys what it does. So what my intention with this switch is just to have this in the back seat for right now once I install it, and the kids could put this up and down as they want. So to put the shade up, I'm gonna hit one of these buttons, and I'm gonna hold it, and the shade goes up. The other thing that's a beauty with these polarity switches is you could wire this to be remote control, like a little control fob, and just have like a main unit like this sitting inside under the seat in the back, and use the little remote control to control the shade. Possibilities are endless with these reverse polarity switches. Now this shade is getting stuck. It's given this issue, and I've been told you have to oil it, but what I could do is give it a little nudge and it goes down, and the shade goes down. I'm gonna push it in. So actually when I took the shade out, there were cobwebs inside the shade. So this is from a 2011 328i, and I'm not sure how long it's been off the car, but there were a lot of spider webs inside the shader. So this hasn't been used in probably a long time, so I'm assuming the gear in the motor, it might need a little bit of lube, and it's a common failure in these things. So let's do it again, and that's it, guys. I'm looking forward to installing this for you guys and showing you guys how to do it. It's real easy to do, removing the rear deck. I have fold down seats, so it might be a little easier for me. If you don't have fold down seats, there might be a little extra step, but it's not extremely hard. And to put it down, it is getting stuck, so in the car I probably would have to still go back and, like I said, just nudge it like that and nudge it in whilst holding the switch button. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm gonna find out in the forums and see what I could do, but it goes up real smooth. And to put it down, just give it a bit of a nudge and it goes down. It's actually improving from when I first did that, from when I first wired it up. It's actually getting better going up and down. So it's the polarity switch here is a momentary switch, so you have to keep holding it for the accessory to go up or down, but once you stop it doesn't do anything, which is cool. So you see it's actually getting a little bit better, which is good. So I'm put it up for you guys one last time. So I'm holding the switch and the shade goes up. And that's it, guys. So here I'm just playing around with the shade. It seems the more I use it, it's getting better. So I'm just hoping it wasn't being used in a while. That's why it's stiff. The DIY is going up next weekend. It'll show you how to put one of these in your BMW car, any BMW, not just the 3 Series. Also, the reverse polarity switch gives you endless opportunities of adding wireless abilities of controlling these shades, as well as putting a sunshade in any car, regardless if it's a BMW or not. You can put a BMW sunshade in a Toyota or Honda car if it fits. So look out for that. It's coming next weekend. Really cool. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye.